love hunting down platinum trophies. We've gotten over 100 on our account, and I even thought about trying to push for 1,000 platinums before we hit 1 million subscribers. But that is a long way down the line. Today, Appa and I are locking in on platinum 104, A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead. If you've seen the movies, you'll get the idea of this game. It covers a post-apocalyptic world after monsters crash onto the earth that are blind and only rely on sound. Before we get into the journey though, I'm brand new to making platinum content like this, so if you have any thoughts, good or bad, make sure you're letting me know down in the comments. This video is also going to spoil the story, obviously, so if you haven't checked out the game yet, make sure you go over to our Basilisk Plays channel, check out the full playthrough to enjoy the story, and then you can come back here. I'll put a link down in the description if you want to check that out. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button as well if you're enjoying the video. We just hit 300 subs on the channel, which is awesome, but that's all the intro we need. Let's get into the game. We have 53 trophies to unlock if we want to platinum A Quiet Place, and the good news is that none of these are missable. This game is broken up into different chapters, and once we finish it, we can go back and grab any collectibles or any trophies that we missed. I played this game the exact morning it came out, so there were no trophy guides or anything. I went in completely blind. I did look over the trophy list and saw that there were difficulty related trophies, so I put this game on the hardest difficulty and officially started off the playthrough. This game opens up with us playing as a girl named Alex, hanging out in the woods with Martin, presumably romantically. We follow him and get a nice tutorial section that gets us familiar with all the controls. This game is extremely sound oriented, which I thought was pretty cool. Different surfaces make different amounts of sound, so walking on sand or grass is good and quiet, but walking on gravel or leaves or a puddle is a lot louder and it's gonna draw more attention. This game even has a microphone detection mode that uses your actual microphone, so if I'm too loud, that will also attract more noise. I streamed this entire game and set up jump scare alerts for my chat, so staying quiet was a lot harder than you might think. Hey. Anyway, we lose Martin after going through this shed. We come out the other side and get jump scared by him. Silly Martin forgot the fact that we have asthma, so this jump scare is a little bit triggering for us. Martin starts to freak out, then he flags his mom down, who we barely see before we black out and get our first trophy of the game.
I don't know. She just...
Alex, it's me. It's Laura. Can you look at me, dear?
Okay. Nice. Prologue trophy, love it. With the prologue out of the way, we're ready to dive in. This game jumps around a bit with the timeline, but it's always really clear at the start of the chapter where we're at, so this is a few months into the disaster. We're back with Martin out in the rain. We decided to go loot this ranch to try and get supplies for our group, who's apparently camped out at a hospital. Every chapter has different collectibles, each with their own respective trophies, and we'll need to discover every single one to get the platinum for this game. There are documents that we'll have to find that give us insight into the world. There are toy spaceships that are typically in hard to reach places, so they're easy to miss. And then there are also mixtapes, just for the fun of the game, I guess, but grabbing the first mixtape here gets us a trophy for finding our very first one. Thanks. Love that. Love that. Exploring the ranch is a nice introduction because I don't think you can really get caught here. There's heavy rain, so not a lot of risk for getting caught, although there are still some jump scares. Later on, we unscrew this vent, and inside we find our first spaceship of the game, which gets us a trophy for it, and we've got 3 trophies already in the books. After exploring a little bit more, we drop down into this infirmary-looking room where we grab some supplies, and we also decide to take a pregnancy test. And you guessed it, it's positive. We are ripe with child. Alex and presumably Martin about to be mommy and daddy. We reconvene with Martin and enter a safe room where it's soundproof and we can chill and relax for the night. We set the mood by lighting some candles and finding some more documents. It seems like there was a cute family here, and after finding all of their notes in this room, we unlock a trophy for it. We wind down for the night with Martin. He found a glove for us because he's just a hopeless romantic like that. We return the favor by showing him our positive pregnancy test, which he responds to like an absolute champ. Really excited and very in love with us. Love this. Love that we're not just holding on to it. Makes me think he's gonna die though, for sure. Oh, that's sweet. We're still stressed though and have our first actual asthma attack that we have to solve with a quick time event. Basically, if we pass it, we don't make noise, and if we mess it up, we'll start coughing and making lots of sound. We absolutely crush it, of course, and we get another trophy for it. That was so fast. That was so fast. Martin reassures us that despite our concerns, we'll figure out how to raise a child in this crazy world. Alex says there's a camp nearby that'll have stuff they need for the baby, but we decide to go to the hospital first to drop off the supplies we got at the ranch and then make our way to this camp. On our way out, we pick up another trophy, but not without some serious consequences. I feel like I'm totally gonna die if I'm too loud now.
Hey! Over here! Hey!
There's no. We unlock our 6th trophy as we finish chapter 1, but unfortunately our absolute fumble cost Martin his life. We fast forward a couple weeks, we're back in the hospital working on something when our dad comes in to check on us. He catches us with the positive pregnancy test. Seriously, Alex is just not thinking through her decisions right now, dropping the inhaler like an absolute dummy, leaving the positive pregnancy test out like, homie, what are we doing? Kenneth responds well, though. He says he already knew about the pregnancy and he's really excited to tell Laura, who's Martin's mom. Alex freaks out, though, and says that Laura cannot find out or she'll never forgive her. Alex tries to convince her dad to leave with her and run away to the campsite that's protected by the National Guard, but Daddy is not buying it. He says there's no proof that it's still there and it's too risky. End of discussion. But we're determined to make the journey, so we navigate through the hospital to restock on some supplies so that we're good to go. Obviously, there are a lot of collectibles that we can find throughout the chapter, but after some exploring, we eavesdrop on a conversation about somebody apparently stealing pills. The head dude here is named Mark, and we don't really like Mark. It seems like he's interested in Laura, and overall, he's just a really demanding dictator leadership wise. Anyway, we squeeze on past them and make it down to the medicine room where we grab some nausea meds to help with our pregnancy, and we also pick up a battery for our flashlight. But then creepy Mark comes in and tells us that we shouldn't be in here. We basically shake him off, though, and we continue down the hospital. After quietly sneaking around, we find a chapel nearby, and after lighting all of the candles in this room, we grab our 7th trophy of the game. Hey. After the chapel, we make our way back to our room and finish working on this fun new gadget, which we're going to come back to in a minute. Right now, though, we got to keep our streak of terrible decisions alive. We pull out our pregnancy test and then decide to take a nice nap. Seriously, I have no idea what we're doing here. Of course, something happens. Laura wakes us up after taking away our pregnancy test and getting mad at us for keeping it from her. She kind of teases this idea that Alex had something to do with Martin's dad dying, but Laura doesn't want us to get ourselves killed with her grandchild, so she locks us in our room from the outside, which is actually kind of nuts. Eventually, we decide we're just going to break out, and we go to unscrew the vent to get out when our dad comes back in and basically says, "You right, Laura's crazy, we're getting out of here." He boosts us into this vent and tells us that he'll meet us at the National Guard camp, and right when we sneak into the vent, stuff really starts to hit the fan.
Is she?
I don't know. Watch it. I told you. I don't know.
This is where the horror aspect really starts to kick in for this game. As we make our way out of the hospital, we witness somebody step on a shard of glass and then get absolutely murked by this creature. This is where we're going to pull out our new gadget, though. It's called a phonometer, and it basically shows us how much noise is being made by the environment. The noise that we make is in green, and if our noise is higher than the environment noise, it puts us at more of a risk of being detected and, of course, killed. This is going to be our best friend in this playthrough, especially because we're playing on hard. There's just not a lot of room for error before we end up getting detected by the monsters. Speaking of the monsters, we finally come face to face with our first baddie of the game. Bro! Ah! What was I supposed to do? Oh, wait, it's a cutscene. Oh, no, it's not. It's a death cutscene. Too much noise. Your first death due to making too much noise. On the bright side here, though, we do pick up our 8th trophy of the game. I totally knew that I had to die to get a trophy in this game, so I was like, why not just knock it out in the very first encounter? You know what I'm saying? But there is a nice side room that we're supposed to jump into and wait in while the monster passes. The tough thing about this game is that our asthma gets worse as we get more stressed. So the closer we are to monsters, the more our asthma builds, risking an asthma attack. Eventually, we get by the monster, though, and we keep creeping along until we finally make it to the entrance of the hospital, and surely we can just walk on out, right? Of course not. It gets sealed off, and our last chance is to go out through the underground garage. Here we have another big stealth section. Really, this whole game is stealth. There's no way to kill the monsters, so you just gotta creep and stealth your way past them. But after some careful navigation and a few deaths, we're able to make it out and finish the chapter for another trophy. Now that we're out of the hospital, it's time to navigate through the forest to try and get to the campsite. We are definitely leaving the tutorial section now, man. It is really dark out and we could get snagged at any time. Right away, we catch a glimpse of Laura and Mark, who also made it out. We're trying to avoid them because we think that Laura's basically going to lock us in our room again. This ends up bringing us to a train station where we're introduced to another mechanic of the game, dust. In dusty areas, our asthma can get really bad, so we need to try and avoid spending a lot of time in them, as if we needed more things to make this game tough. Anyway, we managed to find this plank and we use it to cross the train tracks, but it's hard staying quiet in this game, dude. Break me. Go. Am I dead? Oh, bro. Playing on hard difficulty is extremely tough. The monsters are just hypersensitive to sound, and it was honestly really frustrating at times. It made me feel like I had to play at a half mile an hour, which felt needlessly difficult. We do eventually cross the tracks, though, and it brings us up to a cutscene. Oh, the guns. Those are the homies. Mark got absolutely wrecked by the monster, and we do not have a lot of breathing room to try and make it by him. Like I've said, you just have to be really careful where you walk in this game. Tall grass makes noise, puddles make noise, cans on the ground make noise. It's basically walking simulator, but one misstep, especially on hard mode, and you're just cooked. Another tough thing about this game is that as you get closer to an asthma attack, the game loses color. And for me, playing on hard mode, I felt like this game was always in black and white, bro. It was so tough. Eventually, though, we make it through to the other side and we get a checkpoint safe house type situation. We take a breather and are pretty scared for our dad out there after seeing what happened to Mark, but we gotta press onward. I'm obviously skipping over a lot of the gameplay for this video, otherwise it would be 8 hours long. So if you want to see more about the collectibles and me freaking out during the gameplay, make sure you check out the full playthrough on our Basilisk Plays channel. I'll throw a link down in the description. But towards the end of the chapter, we pick up a final note and it gives us a trophy for finding every single document in a chapter, which is really reassuring because it makes cleanup that much easier later on. After picking that up, though, we try to leave the house when Laura shows up with her gun. She's pretty scary looking, so we go with the alternative. Why? Falling really loudly and getting the attention of a monster. Another stealth section here. The game does give us bricks and bottles that we can use to distract the monsters, which is critical to our success. We're able to use that to distract them while we grab a plank and use it to skedaddle our way out of the area and reach the end of the forest. We get to a train station with the map and figure out how we're going to get to where our dad told us to meet at the campsite. We look at our own glove that Martin gave us, which has been torn up a bit, which makes us really sad, but that frown turns upside down immediately when we secure the 11th trophy of the game for finishing the chapter. We get a nice long flashback after this. We're back to day one, right after we had our asthma attack at the very start of the game. Laura is comforting us. She gives us company while we walk back to the house together. This honestly gives us some really good conversation. Laura empathizes with us over how both of us have apparently lost our moms. She tells us that Martin is very smitten with us, and it's really a good conversation. Definitely leaves us wondering how things got to the point they're at now in the present day, where we'd rather jump off the roof towards a monster instead of being with Laura. We group back up with everybody, and I personally confused all the characters in this game, so in case you're confused too, we got Alex, who we're playing as, and her father Kenneth, whose wife died, so our mom. Then we got Martin, a love interest, and his parents Laura and Robert. Hopefully that kind of helps a little bit. Anyway, we're grilling out for Kenneth's 45th birthday. We listen to some conversation, grab some beers for everybody, and then Martin asks us if we can chat. He's really apologetic about scaring us earlier. We're awesome though, and we have a crush on him, so we forgive him, no problem. And then we roam around their house a bit, triggering dialogue when we're grabbing collectibles and stuff like that. Martin leads us to the attic to show off his family's vinyl collection. Smooth move, Martin. But instead, we get a little bit distracted. Laura is apparently a big hunter. She has lots of guns, and it freaks us out a little bit. This is also when we hear something outside. We lean out the window and eavesdrop on our dad grieving in front of Laura about losing his wife. It's also when Martin points out that something is coming crashing down here. Lots of stuff happening here, but it does net us a trophy for completing the chapter, which we love to see, and then we shoot back to the present day. We're on the other side of the train tracks now, and I really enjoyed how this game kind of alternated present day with the flashbacks. It teases you with some knowledge, like Martin's dad somehow dying, but it doesn't tell you how. I like the breadcrumbs that it teases us with. We're almost to the campsite, but we gotta be extra careful because now we have bear traps we have to watch out for. These are obviously going to make a lot of noise and also be extremely painful. Basically, stepping on one is going to make us have to restart. I found this toy over in the corner, and after carefully navigating over to it, we pick it up and grab our 13th trophy of the game for finding 10 of these little guys. We get to the campsite where the National Guard is supposed to be, but it looks completely deserted except for this trippy looking flashing light. We think it might be someone communicating, so we make our way over, and it turns out there was someone behind the lights flickering.
Thank God.
Are you?
I'm fine.
We love seeing that our dad is alive, even if he's a little damaged with his knee. We agree that Laura's a little bit unhinged and can't be trusted, and Alex tells her dad that she knows about the baby. Kenna tries to replace our glove, but we freak out about it because it reminds us that Martin is dead. Daddy Bear relates to us by telling us how he felt when our mom died. Really cool father-daughter moment. Moving on though, Kenna tells us that he found a way to contact the National Guard with the radio, but the antenna is offline and it needs to be turned on manually. He doesn't want us to go and find it because he's a W protective dad, but his knee is banged up, so we win the argument and we decide to head out. Before we finally leave, Papa Bear gives us a multi-tool to help with traps, as well as a walkie-talkie so we can communicate with him while we're trying to fix this antenna. Having the multi-tool is nice because now we can disarm sound traps that are sprinkled in throughout the campsite. Doing this gets us access to a new area, and with our dad back at base, he's able to help navigate us and give us some good instructions until we arrive at the watchtower with the antenna. Of course, it's another one of those move the goalpost situations where we can't access the antenna because we have to turn the power on, so we got to take another detour into this warehouse where I definitely missed that there's a trap we need to disarm before entering. Surely that was unavoidable. Buddy dove in and swung. Next time around though, we throw a bottle inside first and then we go inside. It's super dusty, but we're able to make it through. We turn the power on and then we make our way up the watchtower. We're able to get the antenna on and receive a radio message. It mentions how the creatures cannot swim and that there's a group leaving by ship at a harbor nearby. So that's obviously where we're going to try to go so we can hopefully escape the creatures. But on our way back to meet up with our dad, we run into a problem.
I don't know.
Then who are you talking to?
Just put the gun away.
Jesus, you really think there are raiders nearby? I would never hurt you.
We turn on the jets to try and hustle back to our dad before anything else happens, but all we get is a cutscene.
What the hell are you? Get off me!
Dang, dude, they're just all dying. Absolutely hate to see Kenneth getting got because of stupid Laura, who conveniently we cannot find after she crawled away. But we can't linger here. We gotta push on and find our way out to try and get to the harbor. There's one last stealth section here that's actually pretty tough, mainly because it's long and there's just a lot that you have to do. We're gonna have to come back to all of these stealth sections later to get some speedrun trophies, but for now, all you gotta know is that eventually we did get past it, even though I literally almost had a heart attack because of it. Once we're out of the campsite, we find this mini waterfall, and all that noise means this is a really safe place to camp out. So this is where we finally release all of our grief and sadness over everyone that's died. We get some rest to pass the time and get a trophy for completing the campsite chapter of the game. We're right around the halfway point of the story here, and if you've made it to this part of the video, take 2 seconds to hit that subscribe button for me and let me know in the comments what you're thinking of this game so far. I'm working really hard on the other side of your screen to bring you videos like these, and I'd love to see them do well. So if you're liking it, please make sure you let me know. Anyway, back to the game. We're trying to get to the harbor, and after making our way way through a cave, we get a really good view of a bridge we'll have to cross if we want to make it to where the National Guard is. We also get introduced to another game mechanic, sandbags. These are pretty straightforward. We can lay sand, which lets us walk with basically no noise. The only downside is that they're really heavy, so laying sand is not optimal for our asthma. We use the sandbags to make it through to a wrecked train yard where we get another stealth section with a monster. These are honestly pretty fun. They definitely got my heart rate up, but they're all pretty similar ideas. So if you want to watch me navigate them, you can check out the full playthrough. We eventually make it through though, and we get to a place where we learn that the monsters can actually scan for movement every so often. So when they're about to scan, we have to be absolutely still or they're going to spot us, especially on hard mode. We get a good section to practice this in a river before climbing up to the bridge and making a little bit of noise. Surely I'm way too slow right now. Oh, hide, hide, hide. What? Hide. I don't think I hid. No! Stupid. I feel like I was supposed to hide behind that. Why would it be yellow if not? Okay, screw it. Screw it. I'll just... Why was there yellow paint on the little tile? Even if it was a bit scuffed, we finish the chapter and get our 15th trophy of the game before heading back in time to another flashback. It's day one again after our cookout, and we're in the back of a car with everybody except our dad, who's apparently stuck working in the hospital. Martin's dad, Robert, gives us a shotgun as Laura and Martin are in the front trying to steer us away from the outbreak as monsters are chasing us. We get a really fun chase section here where we try and keep the monsters at bay by shooting their claws with the shotgun as Laura speeds us away from the creatures. In the midst of this, we do get a hold of Kenneth, who's stuck in the hospital but alive. Just after that, we get a cutscene, and since we made it through the chase without dying, we get a trophy for it, and we also get a huge cutscene that answers a lot of big questions. Uh-oh. This is the moment. It's really not our fault that Robert died, but Laura doesn't see it that way. She resents us for his death, and we finally know why as we collect our 17th trophy of the game. Back to the present day now. On the other side of the bridge, we slid into a pump station, and doing so broke our flashlight. So we have no light source now, which is just tough, man. Inside the station, though, we're able to find some flares, which we can use to either light up and use as a temporary flashlight, or we can use them as a distraction and throw them like a brick if we need to get a monster off our trail. Eventually, we come up on a valve for a water pump. This is going to be the majority of this chapter. We got to turn it just fast enough to turn it, but not so fast or too slow. Otherwise, it'll squeak and make a lot of noise. Once we turn the valve, it shuts the water off and we're able to advance to the next section. After a while, we encounter the safe room in the chapter. We get a little nauseous, but we do take a seat and sing to our kiddo in our tummy while we pop some pills to feel better. Now that we're all drugged up in the club, we push forward and get to another stealth section to wrap up our chapter. For this one, it's the same idea. We got to find a few valves so that we can drain a maintenance pipe so we can escape through it. It's another spot we're going to have to circle back to for a speedrun trophy. For now, we're going to give it a few tries and then we're able to get her done. Once we cross the maintenance tunnel, we find a manual flashlight, which is really nice. The only problem is that we have to charge it up when we want to use it. And of course, that's going to make noise that'll attract nearby creatures. But it does take us to the end of the pump station and we climb a ladder to get back to the surface and snag our 18th trophy of the game. Now it's time for the final chapter in the game, which is broken up into two main sections. But for now, it's time to try and get down to the harbor. It feels way better to be outside now and have the sun shining on our face. And after exploring a little bit, we find a briefcase. I've spotted a few briefcases this game, but I've never been able to find the combo for it. I did find this one though, and once we open it, we pop a trophy for opening our first briefcase. A little bit later, we come across this tech store with another stealth section in it. We get inside and a monster is kind enough to join us. This room is also super dusty, so we have to fend off a few asthma attacks trying to get to the other side. But once we do, we flip a breaker that turns the power on, and now we're able to own an ignore. These things apparently do not like static screens. This is going to come into play later, but for now, we safely creep into the safe house for this section and look around. We have to find some notes that help us find the combination for the lock, and solving it on our first try grants us our 20th trophy of the game. 6, 1, 5. Good stuff. I like that it does it automatically. Attentioning. Find the diner's door combination on the first try. Hey, look at us. Once we leave the safe house, it feels like we're super close. We're at a ship warehouse, and all we need now is to find a workable boat. To do this, we got to navigate the docks with a bunch of planks to grab a crank and use it to lift this broken boat high enough for us to sneak through. We don't find any boats outside that we can use, so we decide to climb into the warehouse to hopefully find one workable boat we can use to escape. But of course, it's not going to be without issues. GG. GG. Similar to what we saw earlier, screens are very big for us to use as distractions. We have to use them in this section to escape from the creature. Once we get away from them, we get into some kind of security room where we see every boat is just gone except for one. This one boat on the camera is our absolute last chance of escape. Apparently, it's in the fire station, and this is technically the last chapter of the game. So as we leave the security room, we get a trophy for the harbor chapter, and we enter the fire station to try and cop our boat. This was the most frustrating chapter in the game for me. You'll see why. But this chapter starts with us creeping by some bad guys outside so that we can sneak into the fire station. But even once we're inside, man, it's not like we're exactly safe from creatures or jump scares. This chapter has a fun type of puzzle that involves fuses. Basically, you open up a fuse box, you take out the broken fuse inside, replace it with a working fuse that we found, and secure power. We have to do this in a couple different rooms, and of course, after this room, we got to navigate the next one with a creature right by us. While we're doing this, I get asthmatic and pop an inhaler. It's actually our 30th inhaler of the game, and we get the Inhale Exhale trophy for it. After solving the puzzle in this room, we turn the power on, but doing this starts a fire in the fire station, which I thought was kind of funny in like an ironic way. But now the power's on, so we get through it and we find the final safe room of the game where we see that the sprinkler system is failing, and it's up to us to get the sprinklers back online. This took me to my least favorite part of the game, the sprinkler room. This was just an insanely massive room where we have to find valves to manually turn all the sprinklers back on. Because my asthma was so bad, this room was just so black and white and dark all the time, so it's impossible to see where I'm going. And of course, it all has to be done silently because there's a creature actively in the room. But hey, I found this toy airplane, so it's all good, brother. After doing this for like 4 hours, I finally get all the sprinkler valves turned on, so now we just need to backtrack to where we entered the room so that we can get back to the safe room. Before that though, I took a detour into this room where I can flip a switch to turn all of the lights on in the sprinkler room. This obviously helps us see a lot more, but it also gives us a trophy for finding the light switch in this room, which is awesome. Having the lights on makes it 20 times easier to get back and figure out where I'm going, so we backtrack easily and we safely make it back to the safe room. Once we're here, we make our way to the gate where the boat is. We'll need to open it manually so that we can power up the boat and drive it out of the station. This section is so tough though because this room is really smoky and the creature scans like every 5 seconds. And remember, we can't move when it's scanning. We have to fend off some asthma attacks and use our flares to distract the creature, but eventually make it to the end of the room. But turning this wheel isn't a minigame, it's actually its own cutscene. Laura, help us. Oh, yeah. Laura, it's Laura. We end up getting saved by none other than Laura. Somehow she made it all the way here, and we have a pretty intense standoff. She blames us for killing Robert. We blame her for killing our dad. Laura actually acts pretty cool here. She asks if the baby is okay, even though we end up ignoring her. She drops her own oxygen mask and tells us to just take it and leave, but we show a moment of forgiveness and introduce her hand to our baby bump. She apologizes for everything and then disappears, and this catapults us into the final encounter of the game. The gas mask is clutch with the smoke around us, but we can't use any inhalers from here on out. So now we're basically on a time crunch. As our gas mask meter slowly fills up, we have until it maxes out to get out of here, or we're gonna start coughing and making a lot of noise. So we gotta go, man. The clock is ticking and I do not do well under time pressure. I hate stuff like this, but we gotta press on. We get out of the room we're in by solving another fuse box puzzle, opening the shutters blocking the boat, and once we're out, we have the last stealth section of the game. Time is not on our side here, so we can't afford to go slow and steady like we usually do. This section took me forever because my mask kept filling up with smoke before I could get to the boat. It was doubly stressful at this point when I was streaming it because I had to pick up my wife at the airport in like 20 minutes. I ended up not being able to clutch up under the time crunch. I had to put the game down and come back to it the next day. This is a bit of a bummer because I streamed the entire game on the day it came out and I just couldn't get the very last section of it, which is kind of frustrating. But the next day we get it on our very first try and we accidentally get a speedrun trophy for getting out of this this room in under 2 minutes. So we actually pop our first speedrun trophy of the game. It's pretty cool. This triggers a really intense final cutscene where we see a bunch of creatures trying to get to us as we pull the boat out into the water, and one even tries to jump at us right as we're getting into open water. We good? I think we're good. I think we're good. We're so not good. Thankfully, every boat has its classic shotgun on board. We're able to pick it up no problem and finally be safe and sound. We pick up a radio message the next day and we get our happy ending. Alex and the baby survive and the game is over. This will pop 4 different trophies for us. The first one for finishing the final chapter in the game, and then 3 difficulty trophies after we beat the game on hard. These trophies stack, so we get the easy trophy, the normal trophy, and the hard trophy, all of them at once, which is so big. Now it's time for cleanup. We still have a lot of trophies to earn before we can put the game down, having 100%ed it. Thankfully, this game has chapter select, like I said, where we can start the game from any chapter. Most of the remaining trophies are either because we missed some collectibles or because there are mission specific trophies. I had some stuff missing in just about every chapter, so I decided to just do a second playthrough on easy to do cleanup. Eventually, we get to chapter 3, the forest, where we need to speedrun the section where Mark died. Playing on easy is obviously way easier than hard mode. You can move a lot more quickly and not make as much noise, so this is a really good way to introduce us to the speedrun trophies. I just had to know the route to take and we got there easily. After that, we go to chapter 4, the lake house, where I'm able to find the code to the briefcase, and opening it gives us our 30th trophy of the game. While replaying chapter 5, I threw a bottle to disarm a trap, and apparently it was my 25th bottle I had broken in the game, and we earned the over there trophy. Also in chapter 5 was a mission specific trophy for knocking down a couple paint buckets that are up on top of these beams. They're really easy to find. I just never thought to look for them when I played through it for the first time. Knocking them down gives us trophy 32, and we're starting to cook. Trophy 33 is at the end of this chapter. We need to finish the stealth section in under 7 minutes, which is a long time compared to some of these other speedruns. It's not terribly hard though. We just need to get into this cabin to snag a hook ladder, disarm some sound traps as we make our way through the parking lot, all while throwing bottles and stuff to distract the creature. Not too tough for this one. We make it out the other side with like 2 minutes to spare, and we secure the speedrun trophy. I've been holding my breath for the last 5 minutes, hoping that we get this. Give it to me. Is there more? No, cutscene. Surely that's it. Yes, that's so big. Oh my goodness, dude, that is scary. The next day, I booted up a live stream and farmed the rest of these live. I realized I missed a speedrun trophy back in chapter 3. The very last section has to be done in under 3.5 minutes, and this one did get a little bit tight. I don't remember how to get in there. There's no back area. This is tough. We are on the clock right now. Oh, there is. Oh, there is. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. On the clock, dude. Grab the plank, dog. Grab the plank, dog. Halfway now to 3 minutes. Goodness. We do get 3.5 minutes. This is so loud. Come on, man. We crushed it. We freaking crushed it. There's no way. There's no way, bro. There's no way we didn't get this. This was so fast. This was so fast. Yes! Let's go! Popping it gives us trophy 34 though, and then I go back to continue our cleanup playthrough. In the train wreck chapter, there are different flocks of birds that fly away if you get close enough to them, and there's a trophy for scaring away all 9 flocks. So I start to track those down while emptying every sandbag I see, since there's a trophy for completely emptying 20 sandbags. After we find our last flock, we get the chasing away trophy, and 2 minutes later we empty our 20th sandbag to get the safe path trophy. This brings us to another speedrun section where we have to navigate this train section in under 6.5 minutes. Under 6.5 minutes. Let's do this. He's literally right there. He's right behind me, isn't he? I'm just going, dude. I'm just going. 6.5 minutes. There's gonna be I'm trying to remember. I know that there's gonna be like a key that we gotta grab. Oh! Crouch, and we go. Hey, bud! Oh my gosh. Oh. Brother, man. Every time we get a bottle, I might as well throw another one to keep him distracted, you know? Okay. Do I have an inhaler? I do. We're gonna pop it. I need to go here later. I need to go here later. I need a key. Yep. So I think it's up here. We just gotta find all the spots to climb. This game is kind of, it's a little like meticulous in like how you have to climb on stuff. Where am I going, dude? Where am I going? Up there, up there, up there. Like that's a huge jump. Like what the heck? Okay, now we got the key, so now we just gotta get there. I should be able to walk on. Oh shoot. I'm really hoping that's for the bottle and not because he like heard me, you know. We're doing really good. I don't want to run. It's right here, dude. Oh, come on. We're gonna skip this because I think I gotta pass through this too. And then I think we're yes! Let's go! Let's go, man. Trophy 37 in the books, and we're really starting to turn the corner and get to the end game of our platinum journey with just a couple trophies left to go. Next, we go to the pump station chapter where we have yet another speedrun section to attach the valves and escape through the maintenance tunnel in under 7 minutes. All right, time starts now. 7 minutes. Time starts now. 7 minutes, chat. We need to basically grab... Do you grab the valve? I think it's this one. Is it this one? Shoot. I hope it's this one. We need to basically grab valve. That's where we need to put it. That's where we need to put the valve. But we need to grab the valve first, which I think is up there. We're going to go this way. I hear him. Okay. We got movement. This is fine. This is fine. Let's keep moving. Gotta go this way. Ah, he's kind of coming close. Do I use... Okay, no, he's going the other way. I'm trying to decide if I use a brick here or not. I'm not gonna do it. We're just gonna send it. We're just gonna send it. The trick now, though, is knowing how to get to the other side. That might have been helpful to watch the video. Okay, let's keep going. Where's the wheel? Frick me, where's the wheel? No. Oh, wait, no, it's here. Oh my gosh, it's here. Wait, we might be so fine. We might be so fine. Oh my gosh. I think once we do this, we're in the clear. We just need to get back to where we started. I think we did the harder spot. I think we did the hardest spot first. Okay. Oh, we're cooking. We're cooking. I'm not going to rush it. I really do think we're okay for time. I need to not get caught. This is such a long section, man. Yes! Let's go! Let's go! I thought I was gonna have to go farther. Trophy 38 secured, and we only have a few more speedrun trophies, which I'm really excited about. Nothing makes me more anxious in gaming than time pressure related trophies, man. I hate it. Heading into the final chapter now, we sneak into this tech store for another speedrun trophy. This one was pretty uneventful, and it gets us trophy 39. Now that we're in the final chapter, we're finally gonna start popping all of these collectible trophies. The first one we get is for opening all of the briefcases in the game. We open up this guy and we pop a trophy. Inside this briefcase is the final mixtape that we haven't found yet, so we get another trophy for getting all the mixtapes. Towards the end of the harbor, we have a couple trophies that we're gonna need to pop in this section. We're gonna need to find collectibles, we're gonna need to speed run this room, and we also need to get the creature to destroy 3 screens in this room all in one life. We're gonna tackle these one at a time. I try to get to all the collectibles in the room while throwing bricks and stuff at the TVs, hoping the creature goes over and smashes the TVs. While trying to find the last collectibles in this room, the monster randomly went sicko mode and decided to destroy the last screen, which gave us the TV trophy. Do you guys see any collectibles? Dude, it's so freaking dark. He's freaking out. Yeah! Hey, there we go! go. Cool. When we finally find the last document in this room, we're able to secure the assiduous reader trophy for getting all of the documents. And now all that's left is to speed run this room. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Time starts now. Let's go. We literally just need to get to like the other side. So like it's again, like it's gonna be difficult doing it quickly, but hopefully like it's very straightforward in terms of what we have to do. We're going straight back here. I think we're good. We're gonna go up here. I feel like it's only been like a minute. I think we're cruising. We're going here. I think we dropped down and we're good. Hopefully. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm not gonna like run. Hopefully we're good here. We're nice. Let's go. 44 trophies down, and now we're at the fire station. We hurry back to the room with the pool lights and stuff. All we got to do here is a very generous speed run. Now that I've already done it, it's not that hard. Plus, we have a ton of time to do it. We're able to conquer it on our first try and be all done with the speed run trophies. After that, we find the very last toy spaceship in the game and pop our final collectible trophy for the game. After that, I use our 15th flare to finally pop the trophy for that one, and now we go to the main menu. As you find toy spaceships throughout the game, you get like kind of currency that you can use to buy concept art and stuff in the extras menu. Now that we've gotten all the toys, we're able to buy everything, which we're going to have to do. So we buy our first piece of concept art and we pop the art lover trophy. Once we buy all of those, we get the art critic trophy, and then we make our way over to the 3D model section and pop another trophy for unlocking our first one, and the last trophy for buying all of the character models. After doing this, I realized that there was one random trophy that I missed all the way back in chapter 3. I need to throw a bottle at the 4 animal statues in the encounter at the end of the chapter. So we do our best to find 4 bottles around here and accomplish that sweet, sweet feeling of earning a platinum trophy. We need to find bottles and the statues. I don't know what the 4 different statues are. We'll see if we can't find them. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Well, here, let's hit this guy. Boom. There's one, whatever that one's supposed to be. Hello. There's obviously one. Oh, it's back here. Oh, sweet. Okay. So here, let's do this. So now we need this one. Where's the 4th one at? Also just need to find bottles. Just need to find bottles. Do we have a bottle and or a statue back here? We don't. We have a brick. Oh, there's a bottle. Okay. I believe we hit that one. Right? So let's get the big old bear. And then you gotta think the last one. How are you getting over there, brother? What are we doing? Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Which one did I hit? Either way, I think we need to go in here. Let's see if there's a bottle in here. It's definitely one of those two, and I feel like if I make the wrong decision, I'm gonna have to do this again. Maybe not. We got 2 bottles. Gotta hit the lion. Hit the lion. I will hit the lion. Fingers crossed. Are you sure? I feel like I hit... No, you guys are probably right. Ah! At the buzzer! Is this the dagger? Please. Yeah! Let's see if we can get like a cool shot here for the platinum. Hold on. My guy! Yeah! Oh, let's go. I had a lot of fun securing our 104th platinum trophy on this account, and it was fun to get to stream it for you guys and have you all be a part of that experience with me. This game wasn't too tough to platinum. If you're thinking about playing it, I would definitely recommend. The gameplay is pretty fun and scary, and the story was pretty good too. If you made it this far in the video, make sure you're hitting that like button on it and subscribe so that YouTube knows that this video doesn't completely suck. Make sure you let me know in the comments if there's a game that you want to see me play through next or go for the platinum for. Thanks so much for watching this video, but for now, that's all I got for you. I hope you know that Jesus loves you, and so do I. We'll see you in the next one.